announcement. So stand if you're able. Let's have some fun. And I stand. No, no, I'm just. If you want to, that would be, yeah, awesome. Then I can see him. I got to keep my eye on him, man. Right? Oh, I got two people to get my. So, right hand, fist, representing power. Left hand, fingers together, representing friendship. Tucking in the thumb, that represents humility. Fist into the palm. Welcome. It's good to see everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. So we're going to stand in the Wuji position, feet shoulder, hip distance apart. I'm going to give you just a little bit more room there. So if I'm going to do that. I'm going to pull your chair back a little bit. That's also going to give you a little bit more room. All right. So I just don't want you to be crowded. All right. So feet shoulder, hip distance apart. Nice gentle bend in the knees. Tucking in the tailbone. Head's lifted by the silk thread. Good straight body posture this direction. Good straight body posture in this direction. We're going to do deep breathing from the belly. All right, let's begin. Inhale and exhale. Nice and slow. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Push the hands in front of us next. Inhale to the heart, nice and slow. Exhale like you're pushing someone away. Inhale, you pull them back in for a big hug. Exhale, relax the hands down. Big, deep belly breath in. Long, slow breath out. Inhale and exhale. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Arms over the head next. Inhale to the heart and exhale as we push the hands up. Inhale and exhale. Big, deep belly breath in. Long, slow breath out. Inhale to the heart. Exhale, relax the hands down. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. A nice reminder, just pause for 1 second. A nice reminder, like if you have your hands up here or up here, don't just drop your hands. Kind of slowly bring your hands down. If I do this, doesn't take any muscles. If I do this, I'm engaging a lot of muscles as I'm going nice and slow. Okay? Arms to the side, inhale to the heart. And exhale, push out on the palms, up on the fingers. Inhale. Exhale the hands as you float them down. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, keep those shoulders relaxed, and exhale. One more time. Inhale, keep those shoulders soft. Exhale. Inhale and exhale. Giving a big hug. Inhale the arms up. Keep inhaling the arms open. Exhale, pushing the hands together. Keep exhaling as you float the hands down. Nice and slow. Big, deep belly breath in. And then long, slow breath out. One more time. We're going to have to start all over again. Inhale. And exhale. Arms in the diagonals. Inhale to the heart. I'll be mirroring you. Left up, right down. Exhale. Pardon me. Inhale to the heart. Right up, left down. Exhale. Keep that upper body nice and straight. Inhale and exhale. Make sure that you're not leaning. Inhale and exhale. Make sure you're not leaning. Keep that upper body straight. Beautiful. Inhale to the heart and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Make sure you're not leaning. Keep that body nice and straight. Inhale to the heart. Exhale, relax the hands down. Awesome. Pause for just a second. I'm going to get a drink of water real fast. When I tell you not to lean, I'm not being nitpicky. This is actually very helpful for your posture, or I'm sorry, for your balance, your posture. That sentence I'm trying to say, your posture is very helpful for your balance. We're so used to leaning to the side for whatever reason, it can get us in trouble. All right. So we want to try and correct that posture, build leg strength, and that helps us with our balance. Okay. Flapping the arms like bird wings, big, deep belly breath in and long, slow breath out. Nice and slow. Beautiful. Inhale and exhale. Do what your body's able to do. Don't force anything. Inhale and exhale. Gathering chi. Big, deep belly breath in. And then long, slow breath out. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And there you go. That's our deep breathing. Everybody good so far? Those are grippy socks again, right? Awesome. Thank you. Just want to make sure. Well, seriously, I mean, it doesn't matter as much on carpeting, but I've had some people try and use their stocking feet on a hardwood floor. It's like, no, that doesn't work. Let's not do that. All right, warm-up exercises next. So we're in that Wuji position, nice gentle bend in the knees. If you decide to sink lower, make sure you're not rotating the back forward, all right? You try and keep your back straight. So if I want to sink down, so if you really want to work the legs and you want to squat, you can do that. But we're not leaning forward as we squat down. We keep the back straight, and that really loads onto the legs when you do that. So try to not lean forward. I tell people there's a couple of there's a movement called Shirbashi. Actually, that movement that's on the wall that lady is doing, the second poster over with her arms over her head looking out, that's a Tai Chi move. That's called Dancing with Rainbows. That's from something called Shirbashi, although there's different forms that you do that with. Anyway, so when I'm teaching Shirbashi, there's a couple of lowering movements, and I counsel people that start sinking down, and as soon as you feel the body start to rock forward, that's when you want to stop. But this is a really good exercise on the legs, but watch it. It can overload those legs really fast. But you always try and keep that back straight. All right? Yes. All right. Wuji position. We're going to do chin tuck. We float the hands up in front of us. Keep that chin level. Hands to the chest, tucking in the chin. Keep looking straight ahead. Hands come out. Chin gently floats up. And then we sink the chin down to the chest. Again, we float the hands up in front of us. Hands to the chest, keep tucking in the chin, keep it level. Hands come out, chin gently floats up. And sink the chin down to the chest. One more time, floating the hands up in front of us. Hands to the chest, tucking in the chin. Keep looking straight ahead. Hands come out, chin gently floats up, and then we sink the chin down to the chest without leaning forward. Next neck exercise, we're going to look side to side. Starting out in the prayer hand position, Tai Chi ball, right hand is on top. Right hand's on top. Watching the left hand going over the left shoulder, looking left, pushing down on the right. And then we come back to center. Now the left hand is on top. Watching the right hand going over the right shoulder, looking right, pushing down on the left. And we come back to center. Pause for just 1 second. Relax the hands down. So what we're doing, so the primary thing here is we are working on the neck. So you're trying to turn your neck side to side without moving your shoulder. So I'm not doing this, but I'm doing this. All right? Second thing, with the hands, try and keep that hand below the level of the shoulder. So I'm not doing this and bringing stress in there. We don't need that. I'm looking at one hand, and the other hand you're pushing down like you're trying to tell a dog to stay down. Okay? So, prayer hand position. Tai Chi ball, right hand's on top. Watching the left hand going over the left shoulder, looking left, pushing down on the right. And then we come back to center. Left hand's on top. Watching the right hand going over the right shoulder, looking right, pushing down on the left. And we come back to center. One more time. Right hand's on top. Left hand, left shoulder, not moving the shoulders, moving the neck, turning the neck, feeling the stretch. And then we come back to center. Left hand is on top. Watching the right hand going over the right shoulder, looking right, pushing down on the left. And then we come back to center, back to prayer hands, and relax the hands down. Forward shoulder circles next. Make sure you're in that Wuji position. Shoulders back, then up, then forward, and down. Shoulders back, up, forward without leaning forward, and down. One more time. Back, up, forward, and down. Now, reverse. Shoulders forward, and then up, then back, and down. Forward, up, back, and down. One more time. Try to not lean from the waist. Forward, up, back, and down. Awesome. So I'll give you a hint on that exercise. So we start out kind of like the 4 points of a compass, if you consider like the shoulders up being north or clock, if you will. So you start out with the shoulders forward, then up, then back, and then down. Get used to those 4 points of the clock or the compass, however you want to look at it. And then try and turn that into a circle. So you're going forward, and then up, and then back, and then down. Never, never forcing, but just a gentle stretching. Back in the pioneer days, there was a lot of exercises that caused us to make this motion. Washing the clothes, raking the garden, working the fields. We were constantly moving our body back and forth like this. We very rarely do that now. Working on a computer, reading a book, doesn't happen, right? So this is a really, really good exercise to do. One of the guys I work with, a Tai Chi master I studied with, his sternum was like a hinge. It was amazing how much movement he could get from his shoulder when he moved back and forth like this. It was pretty amazing. And he was only in his 70s, right? All right. Gathering chi, reaching for infinity. Make sure you have a nice gentle bend in those knees. That activates the leg muscles. When we lock the knees out, all of our weight's on our skeletal system. When we bend the knees, now we're working those legs, exercising those legs, which is very important for our balance, all right? Gathering chi, imagine someone is very gently pulling at your wrist so you're opening and expanding the body, okay? Gently reaching out, reaching up. Feel the body open and expand, and then exhale, relax the hands down. Again, gently reaching out, reaching up. It'll make you want to smile, but don't do it. Don't smile. The last thing you want today is to smile. Gently reaching out, reaching up. Keep those shoulders nice and relaxed. And then relax the hands down. Very nice. Touching heaven and earth. So we open up our body horizontally by reaching out. Now we're going to lift our head towards the ceiling, kind of open our spine. All right. Make sure you keep looking straight ahead and kind of gently floating the head towards the ceiling. Prayer hand position. Left hand up, right hand down, floating the head gently towards the ceiling. Look straight ahead. Don't look up. We come back to center. Right hand up, left hand down, gently stretching the spine. Make sure you're looking straight ahead. Don't look up. And we come back to center. Pause, relax the hands down. So when we're doing this, if you look at this from the side, you imagine there's a string attached to the very top of your head, at the crown of your head. So it's not attached here, so I'm not looking up, but it's attached here, and I'm floating my head towards the ceiling. All right? The other thing to consider, if that thread is attached right here, it's right over my spinal cord. So as I'm floating that head up, that whole spinal cord is starting to expand. All right? Or spinal column for you perfectionists. Prayer hand position. Left hand up, right hand down. I'm looking straight ahead and stretching that spine. Make sure you're looking straight ahead. We come back to center. Right hand up, left hand down, gently stretching the spine. And we come back to center one more time. Left up, right down, keep looking straight ahead. And we come back to center. Right hand up, left hand down, gently stretching the spine. And we come back to center, back to prayer hands. Relax the hands down. Awesome. Everybody having fun?
Yeah.
All right. So next exercise. This helps build our core strength. So we're going to carry this imaginary ball from the left side to the right side. The key is to not move the hips, all right? And if you're seated, you can't move your hips because you're sitting on them. So good job already. When you're standing, it helps my wife to think, I mean, she's a lot smarter than I am. It helps my wife to think as she's moving to the left, someone's kind of gently pushing back on her hip. So she's not doing this, but she's doing this. All right? You're going to feel a nice stretch in the kidney area. The other thing you want to do, this imaginary ball, keep that lined up with your navel. So as I turn to the left, when my navel stops turning, the ball stops turning. I don't keep bringing the ball way over here. All right? Make sense? All right. Prayer hand position. Tai Chi ball, left hand is on top. Gently turning to the left. When the navel stops turning, the ball stops turning. And then we turn the ball over, right hand's on top, and then gently turn to the right. Stay on the right side, turning the ball over, left hand's on top, gently turn to the left. Don't look at the ball, look beyond the ball. Stay on the left side as you turn the ball over, right hand's on top, and gently turn to the right. Turning the ball over, left hand's on top, gently turn to the left. Turning the ball over, right hand's on top, and then gently turn to the right. And we turn the ball over, we come back to center, and relax the hands down. Awesome. Go ahead, shake those legs loose really fast. We're going to do one more exercise standing, and then we'll have a seat, okay? Okay. Some of you people that are coming both Thursday and Friday, I don't have enough dad jokes to go around for both days. So, but So some of you have heard this, some of you haven't, but they have a new flower they have developed for gardeners who make mistakes. It's called an oopsie daisy. There you go. Yes, it is. Dad joke, bad joke, same thing, right? All right, so we're going to do a leg strengthening exercise. Use your chair, all right? Stay safe when you do this. Keep a bend in the knee, keep the body straight. So we're going to be shifting all the way to one leg. Make sure you're not leaning out. Keep that body nice and straight. No leaning out. Think of leaning out with a big red circle and a slash through it, all right? Actually, before we do that, can I borrow your cane for 1 second? All right. Did that just get louder? Um, so it is a good idea to think about your upper body as this cane. So from the pelvic floor to the top of the head, you want your body to always be in a straight line. So I'm not doing this where I'm leaning out, but I'm doing this. But also remember, this is a 3D world we're in. So from the side, I'm not leaning forward, but I'm keeping the body straight. All right? When we keep our body posture nice and straight, it's really easy to stay upright, right? This is my little show parlor trick. Um, if you lean, it's much, sorry. If you lean, it's a lot harder to stay straight. The body's the same way. So you keep the body nice and straight. Okay? So always think about your upper body as being nice and straight. Thank you. Um, always think about your body in all the situations. You want that posture nice and straight. Okay? All right. Leg exercise. Weight shifts to the left. Bend in the left knee. Keep that body straight. Right cat stance. Use your chair. Stay safe. Tap right toe to the front. Empty. And cat stance. Tap right toe to the side. And cat stance. Don't look at the ground. Look straight ahead of you. That's going to help your posture. And then tap right toe behind us. Keep plenty of space between your feet. And cat stance. And then back to Wu Ji. Awesome. So when we're standing in the Wu Ji position, we have plenty of space between our feet. There you go. Make sure. So if you're standing in the Wu Ji position, how do you know how wide to put your feet? Well, it's where your comfort level is. But I will tell you, if you take your two fists and put them together like this, that should fit in between your feet. All right? If it doesn't fit in between your feet, you're making yourself a fall risk just by the way that you're standing. All right? Because you have a narrow base, your hips are wider, so you're a little bit more top heavy, right? So you want your feet at least 2 fist distance apart, maybe even further. Wider base, more stability, but you're going to work the legs, so be careful, all right? And you don't actually have to like bend over and see. You can just kind of eyeball it, all right? But that's going to help you with your stability, okay? All right, now where was I? Oh, did we do to both sides? We only did one side, didn't we? Whew, mine's a terrible thing to waste. All right, other side. Weight shifts to the right. Bend in the right knee. Use that chair. Left cat stance. Glad somebody's watching me. Tap left toe to the front. Empty. And cat stance. Tap left toe to the side. And cat stance. And then tap left toe behind us. Nice. Keep looking straight ahead. Don't look at the ground. Cat stance. And then back to Wu Ji. Awesome. You guys want to do that one more time, or are your legs tired? One more time? Okay. I'm not wanting to tire you out. I'm wanting to give you some gentle exercise, all right? Um, if you have Parkinson's disease and you exercise yourself to the point you're tired, your Parkinson's symptoms are going to get worse, all right? No, pardon me? Oh, yeah, yes, yeah. When you get tired, when you get angry, your Parkinson's symptoms get worse. Being stressed. That's why meditation has exactly the opposite effect, because you're getting rid of all that stress. There you go. Of course, it's free. So, what does that say? Oh. All right. So, round two. Weight shifts to the left, bending the left knee, right foot, cat stance. Keep that upper body straight. Don't be afraid to use the chair. Tap right toe to the front, empty. And cat stance. Tap right toe to the side and cat stance, and tap right toe behind us. Plenty of space between the feet. Make sure you have plenty of space between your feet. Yes. Yeah, actually wider. Back foot more that direction. There you go. Cat stance. And then back to Wu Ji. Awesome. So we want that in your muscle memory, that when you step backwards, you don't do this, but you do this. Much safer for you. Sure. And if you are having one of those days and you need to sit down, please do. Again, you're not doing yourself any favors if you're tired and you try and exercise. All right? All right, other side, weight shifts to the right, bending the right knee, left foot, cat stance. Tap left toe to the front, empty. Use your chair, stay safe. Keep that upper body straight. Cat stance. Tap left foot to the side, empty. And cat stance. And then tap left toe behind us. Plenty of space. Beautiful. And cat stance. And then back to Wu Ji. Awesome. Any questions about that exercise? We could just do that one for the rest of the half hour that we're here if you want. Wouldn't that be fun? All right, go ahead. Have a seat. I have to check something really fast. All right. So sometimes if you're having trouble doing the exercise, don't get upset at yourself. Don't get mad at yourself so you're not shaking your head like, oh man. Just go, all right, need to get better. Need to work at that exercise, right? Um, I mean, we're here to learn, right? If you guys knew everything, you wouldn't need to be here, right? So don't get upset at yourself. Just go, okay, need to keep working on that, okay? I will tell you a story about a gentleman. Um, so his wife was taking Tai Chi from me, and he came to one of her classes, and he struggled doing Tai Chi at that level. And I said, well, I do a Parkinson's and rehab class down in Crestwood. Why don't you come to that class? And he was like, yeah, okay, I'm going to do that. So he started coming to that class. And it's the same type of format as this class is. Um, he was in that class, I think it was about 6 months or so. And that very exercise that we just did, for the first time, he did it without holding on to a chair. And I was like, Dan, I think that's the first time you haven't held on to your chair. And he's like, yep. And he was very pleased with himself. I talked to him after class, and he was very pleased with himself. So the next day, I saw his wife at her class, and she was totally lit up. She was like, you know about Dan? I said, yeah, I saw you didn't need to use the chair. And she goes, no, 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 you don't understand. She said, so this was in the fall of the year. It was like in October, and Dan started like around springtime. She goes, last spring, Dan was not able to do anything by himself. He wasn't able to stand. He wasn't able to walk without assistance. So him balancing on one leg is a huge, huge thing. I said, I did not realize that. And she goes, in fact, there was a doctor, she said, we just went to this doctor like a month ago. So sometime in August, I believe. She said, we went to a doctor for his annual appointment. And the doctor told Dan, he said, quite honestly, he said, number one, you're doing really, really good. And quite honestly, I didn't think you would make this appointment. That's how bad his balance was. And he was able to do that exercise without a chair. So just keep working at it. It keeps getting a little better every time, right? All right. So any questions about that? Actually, there's somewhere there's a video of him because they actually, it is through a group called Oasis. So they made a video of him. I'll share that with you guys. All right, let's do a hip exercise. So when we do seated Tai Chi, we sit up on the edge of the chair, feet flat on the floor, 90-degree bend between the upper and the lower leg, kind of rock forward on that pelvic bone. Head is lifted by the silk thread. So we have good straight body posture in this direction. And when we're viewed from the side, good straight body posture in this direction. Don't sit back on the pelvic bone. Notice how my back is no longer straight, my head is forward. We want to instead try to sit like this, okay? This is really good for our core muscles. It's really good to practice sitting this way, all right? First exercise, hip exercise. Try and keep the knee directly above the ankle, all right? So we're going to be opening up our leg, but try and keep this right angle. So I'm not doing this or this or this, but I'm doing this, okay? So let's turn to the right-hand side of the chair. Focus on what your feet are doing. Don't worry about the hands. Prayer hand position, gently pushing against the right wall and opening up the left leg. Keep that knee above the ankle. And then we come back to center. Pushing against the right wall, opening up the left leg. Feel that nice stretch. And we come back to center. One more time, pushing against the right wall, opening up the left leg, keep the knee above the ankle, and we come back to center and relax the hands down. Now, shift to the left-hand side of the chair. We're going to do the same thing, other side. Prayer hand position, gently pushing against the left wall and opening up the right leg. Keep the knee above the ankle. And we come back to center. Pushing against the left wall, opening up the right leg. Feel that nice stretch. And we come back to center. One more time, pushing against the left wall, opening up the right leg. Feel that nice stretch. And then we come back to center. Relax the hands down, turn back to center, and shake those legs loose. Good job. Next exercise for the hips. We're going to do two motions. We're going to lift the leg up and then push the leg down like you're trying to drive your foot through the floor, all right? The key is to keep the back straight. So as we're lifting the leg up, your natural tendency is either going to be to lean back or kind of crunch. Sometimes we actually lean to this side too. But you keep the body nice and straight and you try and lift this knee as high as you're able to. You don't want to force anything, but try and lift that knee a little bit higher, all right? It's going to increase your core muscle strength. Next, you're going to push down. Your natural tendency is going to be lean forward, keep the body straight. So it's really going to focus on the core muscles, okay? All right. Everybody goes, yes, that is awesome, Craig. Right. Yeah, there you go. There you go. I like that. All right, left leg, lifting the left leg up, hands behind us, keep the back and the body straight. And relax the foot. Hands in front of us, pushing down on the left foot, hard as you can, push, 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 and relax. Lifting the left leg up, floating the head towards the ceiling will help you keep that back straight. And relax. Hands in front of us, pushing down on the left foot, hard as you can. Push, 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 and relax. One more time, lifting the left leg up. I'm looking straight ahead, but floating that head. Make sure you're looking straight ahead. And relax. Hands in front of us, pushing down on the left foot. Hard as you can. Push, push, push. And relax. Awesome. Same thing. Other side, lifting the right leg up. Hands behind us. Keep that back straight. And relax. Hands in front of us, pushing down on the right foot, hard as you can. Push, 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 and relax. Lifting the right leg up, hands are behind us. Keep the back straight, and relax. Hands in front of us, pushing down on the right foot, hard as you can. Push, 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 and relax. One more time, lifting the right leg up, hands are behind us, and relax. Hands in front of us, pushing down on the right foot. Hard as you can, push and relax. Beautiful. Shake those legs loose. Feel that in your legs? That's only 2 exercises. We got 2 more to go for the legs. All right, heel kick. 4 motions with the leg. We're gonna lift the leg up, just like we just did. Easy for me to say. Heel kick, so I'm pushing out on the heel, up on the toe. Then I lift the leg up. Don't skip this. So come back to this position, count for like 1, 2, and then float the foot to the ground. I'm keeping my body straight in this direction. I'm keeping my back straight in this direction. And I'm punching out the opposite hand if I'm able to. All right? Got all that? 20 things simultaneously. You got this, right? So, hands loosely gripped at the belt line. I'm sitting up nice and straight and tall. Picking up the left leg, heel kick left, punching out right fist. Right fist. Picking up the left leg and floating the foot to the ground. Picking up the right leg, heel kick right, punching out left fist. Picking up the right leg and float the foot to the ground. Picking up the left leg, heel kick left, punching out right fist. Picking up the left leg, let it hover there. Float the foot to the ground. Picking up the right leg, heel kick right, punching out left fist. Picking up the right leg, let it hover there. And float the foot to the ground. One more time. Picking up the left leg, heel kick left, punch out right fist. Picking up that left leg, keep that back straight. Float the foot to the ground, picking up the right leg, heel kick right, punching out left fist. And then picking up the right leg and float the foot to the ground. Shake those legs loose. Good job. Now you feel that one on your legs, don't you? No, you don't? We're going to want to do more then? I read this one yesterday also. Did you hear about the story about the claustrophobic astronaut? He just needed more space. And the wedding was so beautiful, even the cake was in tears. There you go. All right, so enough of a break on the legs. We're going to do the toe kick, same exercise we just did. The only difference is you're pointing your toe forward instead of pointing the toe up. Everything else is the same. So we sit up nice and straight and tall. We have that big beaming smile radiating from our faces, or close. Lifting up that left leg, toe kick left, punch out right fist. Right fist. Picking up that left leg and then float the foot to the ground. Picking up the right leg, toe kick right, punching out left fist. Picking up the right leg, let it hover there, and then float the foot to the ground. Remember, trying to lift that knee up as high as we're able to without leaning, okay? Lifting up the left leg, toe kick left, punch out right fist. Picking up the left leg, let it hover there, and then float the foot to the ground. Picking up the right leg, toe kick right, punching out left fist. And then picking up the right leg, let it hover there, and then float that foot to the ground. One more time, picking up the left leg, toe kick left, punching out right, picking up the left leg, float the foot to the ground, picking up the right leg, toe kick right, punching out left fist. And then picking up the right leg and float the foot to the ground. Beautiful. Shake those legs loose. Any questions about that? Either one of those, heel kick, toe kick, great exercise to do every day. All right? You want to start seeing even more. Doing Tai Chi once a week is very good for you. Some of you in this room are doing it twice a week. Doing it every day, even bigger benefit. All right? And it doesn't wear you out. Bless you. You're not allergic to Tai Chi, are you? Okay, good. Whew. It was very interesting. I was teaching like 2 classes a week, 3 classes a week, and I was getting more and more offers to teach. And so I took those offers, but I was really worried that I'd be wearing myself out. We're all getting older, right? Well, right now I'm in my mid 60s. I teach 15 classes a week. As I did more Tai Chi, I got stronger and stronger and stronger. So I'm about to the maximum right now. Having 15 classes is about the most I can do in a week. But I don't know of any other exercise instructors who do Pilates or, cycling, whatever it is, that can do 15 classes a week. So, and I'm not special. It's just Tai Chi it's such a gentle exercise. You can do it every day. So, all right, let's stand up if you're able to. Do a few more exercises before we meditate. I'm going to get a drink of water real fast. If you need to stay seated, that's okay. All right. So, ankle exercise, another really important exercise to do. Weight shifts to the right. Keep a bend in the right knee. Left foot, touch heel and toe. Keep looking straight ahead. Heel and toe. Heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. One more time. Heel and toe. Then shift weight left. Bend in the left knee. Right foot. Heel and toe. Heel and toe. Try to not move the lower leg. Move the ankle. Heel and toe. Heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, and toe. And then come back to center. Second ankle exercise. Weight shifts right, left foot touching little toe. Then big toe. Outside and inside. Make sure you have plenty of space between your feet. Little toe, big toe, outside, inside, or little piggy and big piggy. That's for the grandparents. Weight shifts to the left, bend in the left knee, right foot, little toe, and big toe. Keep looking straight ahead, little toe and big toe. Outside, inside, little piggy, big piggy, or the piggy that went wee, 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 and the piggy that went to the market. Yeah, remember. And then back to center. Awesome. All right, any questions? By the way, that was supposed to be funny, just to let you know. I feel like Johnny Carson on a bad night. All right, so let's do a few more standing exercises. Really good balance exercise, but please use the chair when you do this. So we're touching the heel out in front of us, empty, no weight on it. All right, hence the meaning of empty. We're touching the toe behind us, also empty, no weight. Make sure that you're stepping wide when you do that. You want that in your muscle memory. All right, looking at this from the side as I touch heel and toe, I'm not moving the upper body, right? Think of that cane. As I touch heel and toe, keeping that body nice and straight. So I'm not doing this and then doing this, all right? The leg that has the weight on it, that knee stays bent. That's going to help your leg get stronger and stronger. All right. So check your feet. Make sure you have that 2 fist distance between your feet. That's another thing, your muscle memory. You want to constantly, you're standing at the grocery store, the DMV, wherever you're standing, you're standing at the sink, your workshop. You want to make sure you're standing like this. As soon as you start standing like this, you start making yourself top heavy. Okay. So make sure you're standing wide. Okay. All right. Weight shifts to the right, bending the right knee. Make sure you use that chair. Empty left heel. And then we pick the knee up as we transition, empty left toe, hands in front of us. Make sure you're stepping wide. Lifting the knee, empty on the heel. And then lifting the knee, empty on the toe. Use your chair, stay safe. Keep looking straight ahead. Make sure you have plenty of space between your feet. Lifting the knee, empty on the heel. And then lifting the knee, empty on the toe. There you go. Let's do that one more time. Lifting the knee, empty heel. And then lifting the knee, empty on the toe. Nice. Make sure you're stepping wide when you do this. And then we come back to center. Awesome. By the way, when I point out you're not stepping wide, I'm not being mean. I'm trying to make sure you realize that you're not doing that. We don't always realize what we're doing with our body. So I'm not trying to be mean. I'm trying to help you develop that habit, okay? You'll know it when I'm being mean. I'll tell dad jokes. Oh, all right. Other side, weight shifts left, bend in the left knee, empty right heel, hands behind us, use your chair, stay safe. And then we lift the knee as we transition, empty right toe. Make sure you're stepping wide. Lifting the knee, empty on the heel. And then lifting the knee, empty on the toe. Probably even wider is a little better. One more, or 2 more times. Lifting the knee, empty on the heel. Lifting the knee, empty on the toe. Make sure you're stepping wide when you do this. Lifting the knee, empty heel. And lifting the knee, empty on the toe. And we come back to center. Awesome. So one of the reasons we step wide is we want to make sure that we are safe. It also helps keep our pets safe. All right. The next class I go to, I had a lady, her cat, pardon me, her cat, I think it was her cat. No, maybe it had been a dog. I don't know. One of her pets was behind her. She stepped backwards, but she didn't step empty. She just kind of fell on the foot. She fell over the pet and she broke 2 or 3 of her ribs doing that. One of my gentlemen, he doesn't come any longer, this was a long time ago. He had Parkinson's disease. He fell back over his dog, but he fell on his dog and he injured his animal when he did that. So it's a good idea. It keeps you safe, keeps your pets safe. So as we step backwards, we step wide and we step empty, and then we shift our weight back. Okay? So again, you want that in your habit. Okay? All right. Let's do one more standing exercise, and then we'll sit down and do meditation. All right? So we're going to expand on that last exercise. So where you set your heel out in front of you empty, now you're going to set the whole foot down empty. So the empty meaning there's no weight on it. All right? Then I'm going to shift my weight 70% on the front, 30% on the back. Keep the back heel down. Notice I have plenty of space between my feet. Then I'm going to shift my weight back. I'm not going to move the feet. I'm just shifting the weight. So that front foot is empty once again. And then I come back to Wu Ji and center my weight 50-50. Okay? Easy peasy, right? All right, let's work. Thank you. Let's work with just our feet first. Weight shifts to the right, bending the right knee, stepping out empty with the left foot. Left foot empty in front. Shifting weight 70-30. Keep the back heel down. Weight shift forward. Bring the weight forward on that front leg. Beautiful. Keep that back heel down. Weight shifts back. Haven't moved the feet yet. And then we come back to Wuji position. Maybe not step out quite as far, and that will help you, all right? Weight shifts to the left, stepping out empty right. Shifting 70% of the weight to the right. Bring that weight forward on the right leg. Then the weight shifts back. Make sure you have plenty of space between your feet. And then we come back to center. Awesome. Weight shifts to the right, stepping out empty left. Shifting left, keeping the right heel down. Keep the body straight. Keep that back heel down. Weight shifts back. And then we come back to center. Same thing, other side. Weight shifts to the left, stepping out empty right. Shifting right, keeping the left heel down, keeping the body straight. Weight shifts back, and we come back to center. Awesome. So one more time, concentrate on keeping the body straight. So as I shift my weight, I'm not starting to lean forward, but think of that cane. As I shift forward, head and shoulders stay over the hips. So I'm not doing this, but I'm doing this. Okay? All right, I'm going to add the punch. You don't have to, but if you want to. Hands loosely clenched at the belt line. Weight shifts to the right. Bend in the right knee. Step out empty left foot. Shifting left, punching right, keeping the body nice and straight. Bow stance. Weight shifts back. Haven't moved the feet yet. And then I come back to center. Weight shifts left. Bend in the left knee. Stepping out empty right. I'm not leaning. Shifting weight right, punching left, bow stance. Don't step out too far. Weight shifts back, and we come back to center. I give you one more hint about that exercise. I know there's a lot of things, seriously, there's a lot of things going on in that exercise. But I'll give you one more hint on that. So if you're in this position and you're having trouble with your balance, one of two things have happened. I stepped out correctly. I'm going to step out incorrectly. So if I'm in this position and I'm kind of fighting my balance, this should be a very stable position. So one or both of two things may have happened. I've stepped out too far, so pull that front foot back, or I've stepped out too narrow, so widen that stance. And now when I'm here, it's nice and stable, right? Because I have good stability this direction and good stability this direction. I used to play a game with my little girls. They used to stand there like this, and I would say, push daddy over. And it would help me try and root my body to the ground. And then they grew old. So any questions about that at all? All right, so let's have a seat. Let's meditate a little bit, shall we? So when we meditate, so we've spent about 50 minutes working the body. So when we meditate, we're working the mind, all right? It is just important to exercise our mind as much as our body. And very similar, as you do these exercises, you get better at them. It gets a little easier each time, right? It doesn't get easy, but it gets easier as you learn a little bit each time. Same way with meditation. Every time you meditate, it gets a little easier. Some days a little worse than others. I'm going to turn out the lights. Some days are a little worse than others, but it gets a little easier every time we meditate, all right? And I've seen that with some of you here, that you're able to get in that meditative state even faster, all right? Meditation is so helpful for people with Parkinson's disease. Amazing. I see rooms like this where it doesn't happen 100% of the time, but about 80% of the time, tremors will go away. So it's really amazing. And it's that whole flip side of we get anxious, we get angry, our symptoms get worse. We relax and our symptoms get better. Okay? It's a mechanism that happens. They haven't figured it all out yet. Okay? Any questions about that? All right. So sit nice and comfortable. You can scoot back in the chair if you want to. You want to make yourself nice and comfortable. Closing the eyes, let's begin. Big, deep belly breath in. And then exhale. clearing the mind of any thoughts, cleansing the mind, as they call it. Inhale, big, deep belly breath in. Exhale, clearing the mind of any thoughts. You're just thinking about your breathing, staying here in the present time. Let's do that one more time. Big, deep belly breath in. And as we exhale, not worrying about what happened this morning or what could happen this afternoon or this evening, stay focused on your breathing in the present moment. Let's start with our feet. Big, deep belly breath in. As we exhale, imagine you are breathing out through your feet, exhaling through your feet. Inhale, big, deep belly breath in. Exhale, breathing out through the feet, relaxing the feet onto the legs. Taking a big, deep belly breath in. As we exhale, we're going to breathe out through the legs, relaxing the upper leg, relaxing the knee, relaxing the lower leg. Inhale, filling our lungs with air. Exhale, breathing out through the legs, relaxing our legs onto our hips. Taking a big, deep belly breath in. As we breathe out, imagine you're breathing out through your hips, relaxing your hips. Inhale, filling our lungs with air. Exhale, breathing out through the hips, relaxing our hips onto the belly. Taking a big, deep belly breath in. As you exhale, imagine you're breathing out through your navel, relaxing all the muscles at the front of the belly. Inhale, filling our lungs with air. Exhale, breathing out through the navel, relaxing all the muscles at the front of the belly. Onto that inner stomach. So taking a long, slow, deep belly breath in. As we breathe out, we're breathing out through the inner stomach. Imagine you're breathing out through your intestines. You're letting go of your tension. You're letting go of your anxiety. Inhale, filling our lungs with air once again. Exhale, breathing out through that inner stomach, relaxing the inner stomach, letting go of our tension, letting go of our anxiety. Let's do that again. Big, deep belly breath in. As we exhale, breathing out to that inner stomach, gently relaxing our inner stomach onto the lower back. Taking a big, deep belly breath in. As we breathe out, we're going to breathe out through our lower back, relaxing our lower back. Inhale, filling our lungs with air. Exhale, breathing out through the lower back, relaxing our lower back. And we'll have to stop there for today, but look at how relaxed you guys are. Very nice. Feels good to feel this relaxed, doesn't it? So if you're having a rough day, take a break. I actually have a shirt that says "Take a break, meditate." But take a break during the day and do some meditation, or something is irritating you. Your Tai Chi teacher is upsetting you. You can do some deep breathing to calm yourself down. I had a gentleman um, he was getting, he had some very dear friends. He was good friends with both the man and the woman, and they were going through a divorce. And so they would each call him individually and rail on their friend, who he was still a friend to them. And so we kind of worked on some strategies. But one of the things we were saying is, don't, I understand you're going through a bad time, but don't diss my friend to me, is one thing we worked on. But the other thing is, like, before he knew he had a phone call, he would meditate before and after, because the phone call would upset him so much he couldn't, like, fix dinner for himself or get anything done. And so he started meditating before and after, and made things go a lot easier for him. Okay? So use meditation to help those stressors. All right? Most anti anxiety medicines are not good for your balance. Okay?